What if I told you grief is not just an emotion, but a survival response deeply wired into your brain? When you lose someone, your mind is doing far more than feel sadness. It's working to help you adapt to a new reality. Understanding this can change the way you heal. Today, we spotted the science of grief through Mary Frances O'Connor's powerful book, The Grieving Brain. Welcome to Bookovation, the channel where we bring you the most impactful ideas from the world of self-development and personal growth. Each week, we dive into books that don't just inspire, but also give you practical tools to live and think better. In today's video, we are exploring The Grieving Brain by Mary Frances O'Connor, a groundbreaking book that blends cutting-edge neuroscience with timeless human experience. Grief is not simply an emotion. It is a survival response wired into the very structure of your brain. Whether you've struggled with the loss of someone close, or you simply want to understand how the mind helps you adapt to change, this summary will offer insights you can carry with you for life. So, stay tuned as we uncover how your brain shapes itself in the face of loss and how that knowledge can transform the way you heal. This central idea of the grieving brain is that grief is not simply sadness. It's the brain's attempt to adapt to a world forever changed by loss. When someone we love is gone, the neural pathways that once guided our expectations, routines, even our sense of safety is suddenly disrupted. Our brain, which has spent years building a deep bond, now faces the painful task of reconciling that bond with the reality of absence. This is why grief can feel so overwhelming and confusing. It's not just emotional pain, it's the brain working, moment by moment, to update its internal map of the world. That process involves both our biology, our emotions, intertwining memory, attachment, and survival instincts. Understanding grief in this way does not make the loss less painful, but it helps you see healing as an active, adaptive process, one where the brain slowly learns to carry love in a new form. Human brains are wired for connection. From the moment we are born, our survival depends on forming bonds. Over time, these bonds become part of how our brain predicts the world. When we love someone deeply, our attachment system expects them to be there, almost like a program running in the background. But when a loved one dies, the brain does not instantly update this software. The pathways built through years of shared routines, conversations, and presence don't disappear overnight. This is why many grieving people describe feeling as if their loved one is still around, or catch themselves expecting to hear their voice or see them walk through the door. What is really happening is that the brain is slowly relearning reality. Grief is the process of rewiring those connections, updating its internal map of the world, and finding a new way to carry the bond forward. Mary Frances O'Connor explains that grief does not just affect our emotions, it activates some of the very same regions of the brain involving physical pain, such as the anterior cingulate cortex. This is why losing someone we love can feel literally painful. The brain's alarm system is signaling that something essential to our survival is missing. For most of human history, close relationships were vital to safety, protecting us from predators, helping us find food, and ensuring we would eat till left alone. When a loved one is suddenly gone, the brain interprets that absence as a critical threat, triggering the same circuits that would alert us to injury or danger. This overlap between social and physical pain helps explain why grief can be so overwhelming and all-consuming. It's not just metaphorical heartbreak, it's the brain's biology at work, reminding us how deeply connection is woven into our survival. Grief, at its core, is essentially a form of learning. Our brains are prediction machines, constantly anticipating what comes next based on past experience. When we form a deep bond with someone, our brain weaves them into its expectations. The next text message, the next hug, the next shared plan for the future. But when that person dies, those predictions are suddenly wrong. The world we encounter no longer matches the world our brain has prepared us to expect. This painful mismatch between what the brain anticipates and the reality of absence is at the very heart of grief. The process of grieving, then, is the process of updating those mental models. Each moment of realization, when the phone does not buzz, when the chair stays empty, teaches the brain the new truth. Over time, the brain slowly adapts. But adaptation does not mean forgetting. Instead, the brain shapes its maps to carry the bond in a different form. loving memory become internalized, guiding us even when physical presence is gone. In this way, grief is not just an ending, but a neurological transformation, a painful, gradual learning process that allows us to keep living while is to hold on till the people we've lost. No two grieving processes are ever the same. Each person's experience of loss is shaped by a unique combination of factors. Our brains carry individual learning histories, memories, routines, emotional patterns built over years with the person we loved. The depthy nature of the relationship, whether each was a lifelong bond or a brief but powerful connection, also determines how profoundly the absence is felt. On top of that, our coping strategies, how we manage this. Regulate emotions, seek support can make grief unfold in very different ways from one person to another. For some, healing involves talking and sharing. For others, each comes to solitude or creative expression. This is why there can never be a universal timeline for grief. Each is not a linear process with fixed stages, but a deeply personal journey where the brain and heart work together to gradually adapt to a new reality. Mary Frances O'Connor highlights that grief is not something we simply get over. Instead, each is an experience we grow through. Loss changes the landscape of our lives. In the brain, through its remarkable plasticity, has the ability to adapt to the change. This adaptability means that while grief will always be part of us, each can also become a source of growth. As the brain reweeds itself, we may discover new ways of finding meaning in life, reshaping our identity, and carrying forward the love we've lost. Research shows that this process can also strengthen our resilience. Many people find that grief deepens their empathy, increases their appreciation for relationships, even inspires them to connect more fully with others. So while grief is painful, each is also transformative. Each reflects not only what we've lost, but also the brain has a powerful capacity to help us heal, rebuild, and keep moving forward. From the Grieving Brain, readers gain not only comfort but also clarity. Instead of asking, why can't I just move on, we learn to be more patient with ourselves, and with those we love who are grieving. O'Connor shows that when we understand the brain as a whole in grief, we can begin to see our struggles in new light. Grief, as she explains, is not a sign of weakness or failure. It is evidence of how deeply we have loved, and how profoundly that bond has shaped our brain and our life. The very intensity of grief reflects the strength of connection. Most importantly, this book reminds us that healing does not mean forgetting. To heal is to adapt, to find ways of carrying love forward, reshaping our lives around loss, and discovering meaning your world forever change. That understanding offers both hope and compassion. Grief may be universal, but the way each of us experiences each is deeply personal. No two journeys look the same, because our brains carry different histories, attachments, and ways of coping. Mary Frances O'Connor reminds us that the brain is not working against us in grief, each is working for us. Every wave of sadness, every painful reminder, is part of the brain's effort to slowly update its understanding of a world forever changed. Recognizing this truth can shift our perspective. Each allows us to approach our own grief with patience and kindness, and to extend deeper compassion to others walking through loss. If you found this summary helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another powerful booking site. Your support helps us bring you more wisdom from the world as the most inspiring authors. If you know someone who could use this message today, share this video with them. Each might be exactly what they need. Don't stop yet to check out our next video where we dive into another life-changing book that could shift your perspective and spark new growth. Until next time, keep growing, keep healing, and keep turning pages with Bookovation.